Hello and welcome to another episode. If you're new to the channel, I'm Jonathan, co founder of Parent Portfolio, author of Rent or Mortgage Free Living: How Smart People Optimize Their Finances, and I am a frugal millionaire. Today, I'm going to be watching and reacting to Retiring Early on $870,000 in Arizona, where I'll also be sharing my personal insights, tips, and recommendations. But before we begin, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our updates. Now, without any further ado, let's get started.
I'm Steve and I'm 39.
And I'm Courtney and I'm 36.
And we retired in our mid-30s with $870,000.
And live a little bit outside of Tucson, Arizona. What's nice is that our day-to-day lives both have structure, but they don't have to. Because we don't have full-time jobs, we can choose to do things on a Wednesday or a Tuesday or whenever.
Early retirement for me isn't about just not working, it's about freedom. The freedom to design your day to do whatever you want during the day. So for me, that means getting up around 6 a.m. Maybe I work out for a couple of hours. I mess around on the computer for a while, do email, social media, that kind of thing. We go out and take walks with the dogs.
So, I totally agree. One of the perks of retirement is the freedom. Why do you get that freedom? Because you're less dependent on that job and you have more choice to do the things that you want to do. So instead of thinking that when you retire, that you're going to stop working, think of retirement as a career change. When you're ready to retire, ask yourself, what do I want to do in my life? Think about, what do you want to retire to?
My wife Courtney has always been way more of a saver than I was. Before we got married, I had the house in the suburbs. I had a supercharged Corvette convertible. I had a brand new Cadillac CTS. I had a Yamaha R1 sport bike. I had all the toys. I spent a lot of money.
So it looks like he had 3 cars and 2 bikes, and he was playing with all these toys. But he made a choice. He had a way between owning those kinds of depreciating assets to in order to retire early. And that's something that he made a choice on, asking himself, which one is more important? What am I willing to give up in order to reach my goal? And that's a thought exercise that you can do yourself, where in order for you to retire early or reach any kind of savings goals, what kind of sacrifice are you willing to make, or even delayed gratifications, to reach your financial goals?
We figured out we needed to save between $800,000 and $900,000 as long as we kept our lifestyle pretty minimal and did some big changes, like moved into our Airstream and were able to keep our monthly expenses down to a minimum. We tracked all of our groceries. We got rid of all of our subscriptions that we weren't actually using.
We decided that we wanted early retirement more than we wanted some of the nicer things in life that other people might want to spend money on. So for us, the trade-off was worth it.
So we maxed out both of our retirement accounts. We also saved more money than that. So at one point we were saving 70% of our combined income. So all of my income and some of Steve's. And that was going into our 401ks and Roth IRAs, but also into a brokerage account.
Now, one thing I want to point out here is that Courtney is investing all her income into the retirement, and it sounds like they're just living off Steve's. And they're able to do this because they both have 6-figure jobs. Not saying that you need a 6-figure job to kind of do something similar, but they did kind of have a little advantage to get there. However, I do not want to discount their ability to save and budget, because they are doing a great job of cutting expenses, getting rid of the subscriptions. So they understand the sacrifice they have to make. I mean, my God, my guy Steve here got rid of those cars and bikes as well. He chose those quote unquote luxuries to kind of gain back time and freedom. Kudos to him.
As a married couple, we have a combined checking account as well as savings account. We keep everything together. That makes it simple for us. So we talk about every single purchase. We agree on everything that we spend money on, and it's very easy. Usually, Courtney is the one who's managing the day-to-day, and I use that term loosely because there's just not that much to manage. We have a grand total of $0 in debt.
Yeah.
One way to get into a better retirement situation is get rid of that debt. Pay off those credit cards. Control your spending. I know that it sounds fun to, live life, but then where do you want to be in 10 years, right? Do you want to continue to work? Do you want to continue to spend your money just to pay off debt? Right? Is that the kind of picture that you want?
We will go to a grocery store about 45 minutes away once every week and a half or so for a normal shop. We also get veggies from our community farm through a CSA program, a community sponsored agriculture program. So that's once a week. And then we'll do our big bulk buys at like Costco in Tucson.
So one thing about retirement is that you have this nest egg, this pool of money, right? Assuming that you're not going to go back to work, you have to budget well with this fixed income. And Courtney and Steve, they're doing a good job. They are taking advantage of every resource they can, finding ways to make their money last longer. So once again, when you are planning for retirement, you got to ask yourself, how much money do I need to live to maintain a simple lifestyle, right? Because if you don't have that big a nest egg, then you have to take that into account and live very minimally. And for them, they're living very minimal, allowing them to stretch out their retirement as long as they can.
Day to day, we don't actually spend that much time on our general finances, but maybe 5 to 10 minutes a day, a total of about an hour a week will be spent looking at everything and making sure everything is still going the way we want it to, and we're not going to run out of money in any of our accounts. So we take a look at what our net worth is currently, and 4% of that or less is kind of our budget for the year.
You can do something similar as well. You just got to figure out how much money do you need a year to live off of in retirement. You then take that dollar amount and multiply that by 25, and then you have the number that you should target in your retirement accounts. So let's say, for example, you need $40,000 a year. Well, you take $40,000 times that by 25, that now equates $1 million. Meaning, if you have $1 million in your retirement accounts, then you could safely withdraw 4% every year to give you $40,000, and that should last you about 30 years. Now, with that being said, that doesn't include additional incomes, like, for example, if you have any real estate properties. For us, we have our money also in retirement accounts, stock market, and also in real estate. That's how we're able to plan our retirement as well.
We will really cut back. Our rule of thumb when it comes to when we actually sell our investments and take money out is we only do it in an up market if we can help it, which is why we have that savings account there. And we'll sell stock to get money in an up market if, one, we need to replenish our savings, or two, we have a big purchase that we're planning to make in the near future.
What I like here is they have about $60,000 to $80,000 in savings. This means that if times are bad in the market, they don't touch their investments. Rather, they live off their savings. And then when they're in up market, they sell it off and replenish their savings again. This is kind of a way where they don't put all their eggs in a basket, but it acts as an emergency fund. For those who are trying to build an emergency fund, What you need to do is take your monthly necessary expenses, such as your housing, your food, your utilities, take that number and multiply it by 3, and then you have now 3 months of emergency savings. This is for the cases where, for example, if you lose your job, you will have at least 3 months that will get you by until you find another job.
Despite the salary of a full-time job, I really don't miss much about that lifestyle. For me, early retirement is definitely worth it. To handle the pressure of saving a lot to retire early, you have to be okay with making some sacrifices, but yet your life can't feel like a sacrifice.
If you think about it as what you're gaining, like if you have that vision of the future, we used to take a walk every night with our dogs in Tucson and discuss like where we were at and how things were going and what we could see our future being like and traveling in the airstream. And having that like end goal and talking about it and keeping it in mind really made it so that it didn't actually feel like we were sacrificing.
So, one of the biggest things that put me on the path of building wealth was actually defining what wealth really is to me. To me, I initially thought wealth was how much money you're making a year. But instead, I looked at wealth as how much time can your money buy you? And that's what I think about when I see Steve and Courtney here. They put a lot of work investing in their money to have enough retirement so that their money can buy them time. Retirement looks different for a lot of people. So I'm not saying that this is exactly what you should do to retire. I mean, they're living extremely frugal. I mean, kind of makes me a little jealous. But when you think about retirement, it shouldn't be seen as an age. And I know that people might hate me for that, but you don't look at retirement as, okay, I'm this years old. That means I'm going to retire. No, retirement is how much money have you saved up? For example, going back to that 4% rule, can your retirement balance, can that sustain your lifestyle? So, what about you? Are you reaching your retirement goals? Are there things that are holding you back? What are some of the challenges that are preventing you from saving up? Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and put in the comments down below of any more financial videos you would love me to watch and react to. Once again, thank you for all your time. Thank you for your support, and have yourself a great day. Bye.